Here's the analysis result for the guy you filled out the survey for. The result? C minus. This guy is below par. He has some issues to watch out for. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He's more of a talker than a doer when it comes to building his career. You might hear him sharing impressive ideas or thoughtful plans, but he struggles to turn them into real achievements. You may find him settling for comfort, avoiding challenges, and sometimes making excuses instead of taking action.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he's more likely to break down than bounce back. If a problem pops up or someone criticizes his work, he tends to get upset quickly and withdraw into himself. Instead of solving problems, he often hopes they'll just disappear.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
He doesn't pick fights openly, but he isn't exactly well liked either. Most people at work might see him as distant or hard to connect with since he's not very warm or polite in his interactions. If someone disagrees with him, he's more likely to avoid the person than talk it out.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he's likely to feel uncomfortable rather than proud. Instead of cheering you on, he may get quieter and pull away, sometimes acting cold or distant. He isn't great at showing encouragement, so you may end up feeling like you have to hide your achievements or walk on eggshells.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, there's a good chance he'll feel insecure and quietly resentful. He probably won't say much, but you might notice him pulling away or acting strange whenever money or success comes up. He won't fight or argue, but inside, he could feel embarrassed or threatened, leading to awkwardness between you.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He tries to handle money carefully and prefers things to be organized, so you probably won't see him making wild or careless purchases. Instead, he's someone who likes to keep track of his spending and avoids taking big risks with money. Expect a quiet, steady approach. He won't blow money, but he won't be extra ambitious with it either.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He lives a life he can afford and rarely tries to pretend he's richer than he is. He prefers things to be orderly and doesn't chase flashy or showy things just to impress others. You won't find him boasting about money or buying things just to look better than his real situation.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He is tight with both money and his feelings. You shouldn't expect warm acts of generosity, whether it's treating you to something or sharing his time and support. When it comes to kindness, he's reserved and doesn't easily show sweetness or care, so it may feel lonely at times.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He's likely to be more secretive and controlling about money than open and honest. While he likes things to be neat, he doesn't easily share or discuss personal matters, including finances. His quiet nature means you might need to ask directly if you want real answers.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He's likely to believe that housework should mostly be your responsibility rather than something shared. You may find that he expects a tidy home but doesn't step in to help much, especially when tasks get boring or messy. He cares about everything being orderly, but he doesn't have the drive or enthusiasm to tackle chores with you as a team.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He'll most likely help by watching or giving instructions rather than actually doing the chores or changing diapers himself. He likes things to be neat, but he won't jump in and get his hands dirty. You'll likely end up with most of the work while he stands aside or disappears when things get tough.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He rarely tries to understand your side and usually doesn't argue just to prove he's right either. Instead, when faced with disagreement, he tends to step back or stay quiet rather than have a real conversation. If you push for a discussion, he'll likely avoid it, making you feel alone in solving problems.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he mostly acts distant and moody rather than openly aggressive or disrespectful. He tends to withdraw into himself, sometimes giving you the cold shoulder, staying silent, or making sharp remarks before shutting down. You may feel alone during these times as he doesn't explain his feelings or try to fix things.
Does he have a bad temper?
Yes, he does get angry quickly, and that is a real concern you should not ignore. He might not shout or lose control, but his sudden mood changes, cold silences, or sharp words can leave you hurt and confused. Even if he isn't openly abusive, frequent anger and withdrawal are unhealthy in a relationship.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He finds it very hard to say sorry or take responsibility when something goes wrong. Instead of admitting his mistakes, he's more likely to avoid the topic, withdraw, or subtly blame you for making things difficult. This pattern can be exhausting, especially if you want honest talks and healing after arguments.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He may not respect your boundaries as you'd hope since he isn't naturally sensitive to other people's feelings. If you say no, he might get upset or retreat, acting distant rather than understanding or supporting your decision. Sometimes he could push back with coldness or ignore your wishes instead of discussing and respecting them.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he is likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Instead of understanding your feelings or asking why, he may become cold, withdrawn, or act moody for a while. You may end up feeling guilty for simply needing space, which isn't fair.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
You should be cautious when trusting him with private moments because he doesn't show much warmth or understanding. If things go wrong between you, he may not always protect your secrets or treat your memories with kindness. He's unlikely to comfort you, and moments meant to be special could later feel unsafe if you sense he might use them against you.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He isn't someone who's easily distracted by other women, but this doesn't mean he's deeply loyal in a caring way. He tends to keep to himself and doesn't seek out extra attention from others, so you aren't likely to worry about him flirting or wandering. Trust won't be broken by wandering eyes, but it might feel thin because of his coldness.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
He isn't usually over possessive, jealous, or controlling in a loud way. Instead, he keeps his feelings to himself and stays distant rather than trying to manage your every move. If he ever feels unsure or worried, he's more likely to withdraw or act cold instead of picking fights or checking on you constantly.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, with him, you won't find a protective nature turning into controlling behavior. He isn't the type to guard you closely or set strict rules. Instead, he's more likely to stay quiet and let you handle things your own way. His personality leans toward distance rather than control, so don't expect bossiness or possessiveness.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He is likely to expect you to do most of the work when it comes to parenting, rather than seeing it as a team effort. He may step back and let you handle the feeding, homework, doctor visits, and comforting the kids, only stepping in for very basic tasks or when it suits him. If you want true partnership in parenting, he may not be the one to offer it.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he's likely to lose his temper rather than stay calm. Small mistakes or emotional moments can easily make him irritated or moody. He doesn't have much patience for mess or drama, and his reactions can feel sharp or sudden.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He's unlikely to truly support your role as both a mother and your own person. He may expect you to keep the home in order and handle most family responsibilities, focusing on the practical side of things without recognizing your dreams or personal needs. He won't celebrate your achievements or give you the freedom to pursue your own interests easily.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, he is the kind of man who might seem supportive of your career now, but once a child comes along, his attitude could change. At first, he may say he's fine with you working, but after the baby, expect him to step back from household or parenting tasks and expect you to take on more at home. It's smart to be clear and firm about your goals before making big decisions together.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He'll most likely act polite on the surface with your parents rather than showing true warmth or affection. He isn't comfortable getting close to others or going out of his way to build strong relationships, especially with family members who aren't his own. He'll probably keep interactions short and might even avoid deeper conversations. He's more likely to expect your family to change for him than to put effort into adjusting himself.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he is more likely to make things worse by withdrawing or reacting sharply. He doesn't cope well with outside pressure or drama, so instead of staying calm, he may become moody, distant, or even say hurtful things. You'll need to be the one calming things down and protecting the peace.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he is the kind of man who may act modern with you in private, but expect you to be a traditional, supportive wife in front of his relatives. He might prefer things to be proper and orderly when family is around, wanting you to dress, act, and speak in ways that fit old fashioned expectations. Be aware, if you value being yourself all the time, this hidden expectation could become a big headache later.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he will most likely stay out of it or quietly side with his family rather than openly supporting you. He avoids conflict and doesn't feel comfortable standing up for anyone, especially if it means risking family harmony. You might find him silent during tricky moments, not taking your side or helping you speak up.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He does have traits of a mummy's boy and is very unlikely to choose your side in a conflict with his mother. He values keeping things ordered and avoids confrontation. so he'll almost always stay silent rather than stand up for you. You may feel ignored or unsupported in these moments, left to handle difficult situations by yourself.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
Yes, he is the type who might share details of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. Instead of discussing problems with you or solving them together, he can turn to his family for advice or comfort, sometimes telling them things you'd rather keep between the two of you. This means your relationship may feel crowded with outsiders knowing about your ups and downs.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So, after all that analysis, we can conclude that this guy is a C minus. This guy is below par and he has some serious issues to watch out for. Being in a relationship with this man can feel lonely and tiring, even if life looks neat and organized from the outside. Most days, you'll find yourself handling responsibilities on your own, caring for the home, children, and even managing family drama while he stays quiet and distant.